Good morning, Kasturians, and welcome to video 2 of chapter The French Revolution. In the previous video, we saw the composition of the French society during the late 18th century and how the common men or the peasants or the third estate people they survived and they struggled for their survival, that is the subsistence crisis we have seen, and how the expanding trade it led to emergence of a new middle class that comprised of the businessmen and the educated professionals. In this video we will see how the revolution it broke away. So let's start our video. As we know, in the last video we have seen that when Louis XVI ascended the throne, the treasure was almost empty and he was not able to meet the financial burdens. So he was left with only option to increase the taxes. But the system of administration was not allowing the monarch to increase the taxes. Instead, for this, he has to send a proposal to the political body called the Estates General, which will pass the proposal for the new taxes. However, it was the right of the monarch when to call the meeting of the Estates General. So on 5th of May 1789, Louis XVI called for the Assembly of the Estates General for passing the proposal of the new taxes, and a hall in the place called Versailles was prepared to host the delegates. 300 representatives from both the first and second estates were sent, who were allowed to sit in rows facing each other, while from the third estate 600 members they came, but they were allowed to stand at the back of the two members of the two estates. The third estate was more prosperous and it was having more educated members, including the peasants, artists, artisans and women. But these peasants, artisans and women, they were not allowed to enter in the assembly, and as a result they started writing letter in which they wanted themselves to represent the third estate. Earlier in the Estates General, one estate was having only one vote, but this time, since the participants were more and Louis XVI wanted to continue with the same old practice of having one vote from one estate, the members of the third estate, that is the 600 members, they denied and they said कि every member should vote with one vote equal to one member as a whole. This was one of the democratic principle which was given by Rousseau in his book The Social Contract. But when Louis XVI rejected this demand, the estate general, people of third estates, they walked out of the assembly in protest. And these persons, these members, they saw themselves as the representatives for the whole French nation, because in this the artisans, the rich middle class, the women, all were there. So they thought themselves to be the true representatives of the French nation, and that's why on 20th of June they assembled in the hall of an indoor tennis court in the ground of Versailles, and they declared themselves a national assembly and they took an oath, and this oath is also known as the oath of the tennis court in the history of Europe. These representatives, they declared themselves as a national assembly, and the two leaders who were leading this national assembly were Mirabeau and Abbé Sieyès. Where Mirabeau was a noble, he was born in a noble family, but he was led by the idea that the feudal privileges should come to an end and everyone should be given equal participation and equal rights. which he propagated through speeches to the crowds which has assembled at Versailles. Whereas Abbe Sieyès was a priest and who wrote a pamphlet called What is the Third Estate, in which he clearly gave a picture what Third Estate meant and why the Third Estate is proclaiming itself as the National Assembly. The National Assembly started drafting a constitution, but at the same time, in the winter, a bad harvest took place because of the severe winter, and ultimately, due to bad harvest and increased population, the prices of bread it rose to such a level that the people they were not able to purchase bread even at high cost. The bakers who were involved in selling and preparation of bread, they exploited the condition and they hoarded the supplies, which resulted in a sort of war. And ultimately, when this news it reached to monarch, he ordered his troops to move into Paris to control the situation. And this is what the rumors spread, that the monarch has ordered his troops to open fire to the public. And ultimately, the incident on 14th July 1789, which we have discussed in the very beginning of the previous video, that happened, and the fortress prison Bastille was destroyed and demolished by the people. Why they demolished and targeted fortress Bastille? Because it was seen as a symbol of monarchy, absolutist monarchy, and that's why the people they showed that we are no longer in favor of existence of this monarchy, and as a symbolic representation of this idea they totally demolished fortress prison Bastille and took away the saviors of the prison to keep as a memoir. This all was happening in the city or towns, but at the same time in the countryside, that is in the rural France, also the revolution took place. The news it reached the people that the men of manor they have hired brigades who will destroy the ripened crops, and the peasants in these districts they seized the hose and they attacked the chetoks, that is the residents who in which the king's men or noblemen were living. They attacked their palaces, and ultimately they looted the hoarded grain there and they burnt the documents containing the records of the manorial dues. And finally, when the nobles they also revolted, Louis XVI was forced to give recognition to the National Assembly, and as per the demand of the National Assembly, he accepted the proposal that his powers will be checked by a constitution. So on the 4th of August 1789, a new decree was established and the feudal system of obligations and taxation was abolished, and the members of the clergy, that is the members belonging to church, they were forced to give up their privileges. Their all privileges were taken away. Tithe was abolished, and the land of the church it was seized, and it was decided that it will be granted to the peasants. Ultimately, the government acquired new assets. It took almost 2 years, that is from 20th June 1789 till 1791. The constitution was drafted, in which it was clearly stated that the monarchical powers will be limited and they will be concentrated into different institutions, that is the legislature, executive and judiciary. And these three heads are, which we see in our Indian constitution also, they are taken from this revolution, the French Revolution. And when these important points were written and framed in the constitution, this made France to be recognized as a constitutional monarchy. With the constitution, the National Assembly got the powers to make laws, and this National Assembly was to be elected indirectly because it was not the general public who can directly vote, but a group of electors will choose the assembly. All the citizens were not having the right to vote. Only men who have attained the age of more than 25 years and who were paying taxes equal to 3 days of a labor's wages were given the status of active citizens. That is, they were the only people in France who can vote for the National Assembly. And the remaining population was classified as passive citizens. Also, they have to qualify if they wanted to be a member of assembly or wanted to become an elector. They have to belong to the highest bracket of taxpayers. He has to pay highest tax. Although the right to vote was not given or provided to all the citizens, but still this constitution declared the right of men and citizen, rights like right of life, the freedom of speech, the freedom of opinion, and equality before law. It was established as a natural, inalienable rights, and everyone has the access to these rights. There will be no privilege given on the basis of birth. That's all we have in this video. In the next video, we will see how the France became a true republic. Thank you and have a nice day.